Well, a very good afternoon, a very warm welcome along to each and every one of you. Welcome here to the Harcourts Gold Auction Rooms at number 471 Papanui Road. Mark Morrison is my name. I'll be your auctioneer in charge of proceedings here this afternoon. We have two auctions, hopefully two auctions here this afternoon, two brought forward auctions. We're here to do a couple of things today. Firstly, to inform you that the two properties, the owners of which have accepted offers which are acceptable to them. Secondly, once I announce the relevant brought forward numbers, I will inform you of that number, and then we will await to see whether we see some bidding over and above that brought forward number. Should we see bidding on either property, we will therefore hold an auction. If I don't see any bidding on either of those two auctions, I simply knock the property down to the initiator of those two pre-auction offers. Now, firstly, I'd like to thank our sellers and acknowledge them for their ease of access, for their presentation, but first and foremost for their choice in agency. We appreciate that there is choice out there in the marketplace, and we acknowledge and thank them for their choice to choose to work with the great team here at Harcourts Gold. Now, speaking of the team here at Harcourts Gold, let me take some time to introduce you to some of the ownership and management team who are here in the room. Firstly, Lynette McFadden, business owner here at Harcourts Gold, alongside her, Mr. Chris Kennedy, fellow auctioneer. You've been benched this afternoon, haven't you, Chris? Just resting up and limbering up for Thursday. Also, one of our Harcourts Gold business owners here. To my left, I have Doug Soper, client liaison officer, working right across our Harcourts Gold rooms. Who else do I have here? Alongside me, Rebecca Johansson. She'll be scribing the bids here this afternoon, just making sure that any numbers and bids that we receive are being accurately recorded. And in turn, I also have Alana Davies. She'll be driving the technology here this afternoon, and also making sure that any bids we receive are up on the screen there as well, so you'll be able to keep up with how things are tracking along. Now, I know the team here at Harcourts Gold will have made all of the relevant documentation for today's proceedings available to you, including the LIM, the title, and of course the contract from which we work from, which has been approved by the Real Estate Institute of New Zealand as well as the Auckland District Law Society. Now, when it comes to bidding and buying at auction, there are a few rules and regulations that we must adhere to. Given the fact that both our auctions this afternoon are brought forward, the rules are a little bit different to perhaps what you might be accustomed to if you have attended a few auctions. So I will run you through those now, just so that we are all on the same page. Now, given the fact, first off, that our start price, that effectively becomes our reserve price today, because our owners in both cases have accepted that pre-auction offer level. So that becomes our reserve price. Because of that, it's very unlikely that I will refuse any bids. I may give some encouragement or some direction in terms of the increment by which bids may be increased, but generally speaking, I'm going to be very, very happy to work with you and in your bidding increments. If there is a dispute with any bids, well, I'll simply sort that out. More than likely, we revert to the last undisputed bid and then recommence the bidding sequence from there. I won't be placing any bids on behalf of my owners, placing any vendor bids. That would not be the right thing to do here this afternoon. At the conclusion of the auction, which is nominated by the hammer coming down to the rostrum in a fashion such as this, should it fall in your favour, congratulations, you are the successful purchaser. Before you commence those celebrations with friends and family, you do have some simple undertakings to complete. Firstly, you will sign the agreement, and in doing so, you're acknowledging receipt of the approved REA guide. Secondly, you will arrange to make payment of a very neat and precise 10% of the purchase price. And thirdly and finally, complete the GST information, which is outlined in Schedule 1. So folks, those are the rules of engagement here this afternoon. Of course, any bidding we receive, it is cash and it is unconditional. Very clean, clear and concise instructions for you to work by here today. As I said before, very shortly I'll announce the pre-auction offer of our first opportunity at number 77 Ryan Street. I'll let you simmer over that and think about that number for a few moments, and then from there simply welcome in any further bidding that we may receive over and above that level. Well, moving forward then, as I mentioned, to our first of two auctions here this afternoon, to number 77 Ryan Street in Phillipstown. And I welcome in Mr. Anthony Dean. Pleasure to be working alongside you, Anthony. Anthony's been looking after our owner. He's been your tour guide towards home ownership as you navigate those twists and turns that you take on your journey towards home ownership at number 77. It's more formally described as being an estate in freehold, some 600 665 square metres of that freehold land, made up of Lot 29 deposited plan 9028, which is all outlined on that certificate of title that Anthony and the team have made available to each and every one of you. Now, settlement date, that's set down for Friday the 29th of January 2021, or any other such date that may have been arranged in writing prior to the commencement of today's proceedings. The list of chattels in Schedule 2, will they remain as circulated unchanged? I note there's the 1950s Shacklock Chef Master Stove, which is very, very impressive, is it not, Anthony? And everything else remains as circulated and unchanged. I draw your attention to those further terms of sale at the rear of the agreement, being clauses 22 and 23. Well, let's go and take one last trip down memory lane at number 77 Ryan Street. Here we offer you character, charm and convenience in one really neat and tidy little package. This is a gorgeous home. It's been lovingly restored and updated for the lucky new owner. There's no doubt about that. This is simply one that you can just move into and enjoy straight away as it is. Now, there are special touches throughout, from that Shacklock Master Stove that I mentioned before, the woodwork throughout the home that just oozes character every turn and everywhere you look, and, well, those old lead light windows through which the new light of each day flows. There's just those special touches, as I said, absolutely everywhere in this beautiful home. It's located at the end of a cul-de-sac, which means that the passers-by, well, they'll be very, very limited. You'll know that people that are coming down the street, they'll either be friends or family or perhaps close neighbours. Wonderful should you have little kids. They love to play in the street. Their games of cricket or riding bikes, they'll be very seldom interrupted being down the end of a cul-de-sac. Well, folks, a wonderful opportunity. We've received a pre-auction offer acceptable to our owners, the level of which being $435,000. 435. That's where we're at. Do we see bidding over and above that level? Is there 450 anywhere? Let you simmer over that for a moment. Consider your moves, but at 435,000, shout out a number. Tell me what you'd like to bid.
437.
437, heard it over in the corner there? Yeah, at 437, thank you, Leanne, working with the buyer in the corner. At 437, we officially have an auction at 437.
41.
41. What was your bid over here, Ruben?
40.
40. Thank you, and 41 here. Thank you. I'm clearly hard of hearing, not the best as an auctioneer, but at 441, I have here. 5th and 45. Nicely done. Puts 4 on top of, and 46 straight back without hesitation. At 46, and we sell. First call, number 77, Ryan, at 450. Nicely done there, Ruben, at 450. First call, often they stop on those square numbers. Try 451. You never know. Twice now. At 450, and I sell here. Hate to lose it for $1,000. Why not try one more?
451.
Nicely done at 4, 5, and 1. Staying alive, staying in the race at 451,000. First call at 452.5. Okay, can't pick the pattern, but nicely done. Puts 1,500 on top at 4, 5, and 2 and change. First, and I sell. Twice here. Third, you sure? Absolutely sure. Appreciate the bidding then. At 452,500. I look across the room for any late bids. Don't be too late. Hammer's coming down at 452,000. Happy to announce number 77 Ryan Street. It goes. It goes. It is sold here. Start here this afternoon. I now take us forward without any further ado to number 16A Hawthorn Street in Strohan, and I welcome in Debbie Soper. Debbie's been your real estate maestro and looking after our beautiful owners at number 16A Hawthorn Street in Strohan, more formally described as being an estate in freehold, some 667 very generous square metres of that freehold land, the best land available to us here in this wonderful country that is New Zealand. It's made up of lot number 2, depositor plan 511208, which is all outlined on that certificate of title that Debbie and the team have made available to each and every one of you. Now, the conjoined settlement and possession date, that is set down for the 29th of January 2021, or any other such date that's been mutually agreed to in writing prior to today's proceedings. The list of chattels, they remain as circulated. I do note the excluded chattel there being all of the personal garden art, so don't expect to see that there come settlement date. And finally, those further terms of sale being clauses 22 and 23 inclusive. Well, Hawthorn Street, this really is a family home or a wonderful home for any situation, any scenario, given the location, given the construction. This is a real box ticker of a home in that private and secluded rear section. Chris, I know you love those rear sections. This looks like a bit of you here, and it's located in what is a highly desirable street of Hawthorn Street. Peace of mind, well, that's there's going to be plenty of that here with that brick construction, single level living, and this is a home that's been extensively renovated and upgraded over recent times. So this really is one, once more, that you can just simply move into and enjoy. Very, very easy living here. 4 bedrooms, well, they are serviced by those 2 tiled bathrooms. There's flexibility here in terms of the living, both inside and outside. There's good options there to be able to chase the sun right across the day as well. And also the safety and security factor there as well. If you've got perhaps pets or little kids, well, you can fence off the front of the home there at the top end of the driveway, so good security here as well. Speaking of kids, if you're an average parent or think you're going to be an average parent, well, you're going to have good peace of mind knowing that there's excellent school zones as well. So if you need a little bit of help in terms of the parenting, then you know that you're going to have that here with some excellent school zones just around the corner. 16A Hawthorn Street, this presents a wonderful new opportunity, many years of happiness, I would suggest, for one lucky new owner here. We have received a pre-auction offer that is acceptable to our owners at $1,080,000. At 1,080,000 is the number. Where do we go from here? 1.1 I would have thought. Otherwise I just simply sell it at $1,080,000. What say you? A few committee meetings happening here in the rooms. What's the strategy? At $1,080,000. Need to see the hand in the air for the charts. First call at $1,080,000, otherwise I simply sell.
$1,090,000.
$1,090,000 here, thank you, Henry.
1.1.
And 1.1 on the retort there, working at the back of the room. Thank you, Kurt, at 1.1. First call here, Henry, what's the retort?
Another 10.
Another 10, of course it is.
1.2.
And 1.2 here.
Another 10.
And 10 here.
35.
And 35.
Another 10.
And 45 now. At 1,145,000, nicely done. Turn here to the back of the room at 1,145,000. For future, 55.
Another 5.
And 60 here. At 1,160.
75.
And 75, nicely done, puts 15 on top. What's the retort here?
5.
And 5 more. At 80. At 1,180,000. Wonderful location here, great street.
90.
And 90, nicely done. 95 here. 1.2 beckons. 1.2, there it is, without hesitation.
Another 5.
And 5 more, of course. At 1,205 here. First call. At 1,205,000. And 5 here.
Another 5.
And 15. 1,215 here. Got to fight for good ownership and good opportunities like this. First call at 1,215,000.
Another 5.
And here, 5 more. Good bid at 1,220,000. First call at 1,220,000. Welcome any other bidding at this stage. Doesn't have to be a spectator sport, but at $1,220,000 I have and I sell. First call. Second here. All done. Another 1,000, Kurt. All done. Appreciate the bidding. At $1,220,000 here. Sit tight. Third and final chance. You sure? All done. At $1,220,000. Happy to announce their number 16A Hawthorn. It goes. It goes. It is sold here. Well done, congratulations. Appreciate the spirit of bidding. Good, all the best in your search as well. Folks, that wraps up proceedings here this afternoon. Thank you very much for your attendance. We've got a wonderful lineup of homes on Thursday morning from 10 o'clock. Some 20 properties for your spirit of bidding. We look forward to seeing you then. Thank you very much.